So, it was another lovely morning in Lanzarote. We decided to head off to Fire National Park and climb the Caldeira Blanca. We hired a car and set off for the north of the island. It only took us 20 minutes from Puerto Carmen, and when we arrived at the car park we were greeted with this crazy lunar landscape surrounding us. The landscape was bizarre and the path was tricky in some places. We wore running shoes, which were okay, but hiking shoes would have been a lot better and we could have probably moved a bit quicker. Holly was absolutely chuffed to be on the sand and the mud at the base of the caldera. It was a lovely horseshoe shape that gives an amazing view even from ground level. The toughest part of the climb came at the base of the Caldeira Blanca. It was pretty steep and the rocks were actually sliding underneath your feet, and yeah, it was quite challenging at this point. We're actually told at the car park that the view is slightly compromised by the dust in the air. The sand blows in from the Sahara Desert if the wind blows from the southeast, and unfortunately it was, but it really didn't ruin it. Obviously the view wasn't as great as we hoped and had seen, but it was still fantastic to be there. We just loved chilling out on the top. We had some fig rolls and headed back down the hill. It's really easy to imagine the lava streaming down these hills, past these old calderas. The lava is actually from the 18th century, and the calderas were formed sort of between 3,000 and 5,000 years ago. So you can just imagine in a sort of liquid state just rolling past like a huge river. Must have been absolutely terrifying if you were on the islands. So the things we took in the pack were just some hooded tops, which we didn't need in the end, some drinks, some snacks. The total distance of the hike was 8 kilometers, but bear in mind this is 8 kilometers over rough ground, so it felt a lot longer, and it only took us 3 hours. So something you could do in half a day. I really would recommend doing it. It was brilliant fun. Holly was chuffed as she kept telling me she was going to get me back to the hotel and give me an ass whooping at pool. She is a pool shark.